guys, and welcome to my new video. Today I am building a secret cabin in the woods from reference. I saw on Twitter a while back this awesome art concept by Janine. She's an incredible artist and you can go follow her on Instagram and Twitter. She goes by the name Iohim. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'll leave her links down below for you guys. But anyways, I saw this picture with this secret abandoned cabin that the characters use as a place to hang out in, and I was so inspired. I wanted to try recreate it in The Sims, so here we go. Also, thank you Janine for letting me do this build and using your art as a reference and inspiration. I started by creating this secluded area that looked like an opening in a forest with overgrown trees and flowers and lots of rocks. I really enjoy making the surroundings for builds, so this was loads of fun. I was super excited when I found the fence in debug menu because there were so many of them and different kinds, and also some of them were kind of broken looking, so they were perfect. I know in the reference art she used an actual metal fence that we do have in The Sims, but it doesn't have a broken swatch or a swatch of fence that's crooked or bent, so I ended up using these instead that are like spiky. I don't know, I think they're from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, if I'm not entirely mistaken. I still wanted to be able to try recreate the entrance for the passageway, and this fence had a broken swatch, so I went with this one. I also didn't have a tree that was almost like fallen down or leaning in any direction, so I used the old crooked looking tree, and I think it looks good at least. I finished up with some landscaping and then moved on with the actual cabin. The house itself needed to look run down and abandoned. I don't know what it used to be, but it has this beautiful conservatory on the side. It's just such an interesting build. The cabin itself was from white wood and the conservatory from red brick, so I went with those. I tried to make it look as similar and magical as it is in the picture. I also used some pillars and those ceiling boards or whatever they're called, so the lighting wouldn't go weird in the house, because whenever I tried to erase the wall between the conservatory and the main room, it just completely got rid of the room, not the room like the walls, but it didn't think it as a room anymore. So whenever that happens, the lighting goes weird. I did run into some bugs building this, one of which was the conservatory's flooring. I don't know why I got those weird white lines when I tried to place the floor tiles on the ground, but it was bothering me so much that I ended up just painting the floor with the terrain painting tool. As I said earlier, the cabin looked very old and overgrown, so I added lots of greenery on the roof and vines on the walls. I also was disappointed to realize there's no white swatch in the glass roofs, so I had to go with the one I had. The roof altogether ended up being quite different to the one in the picture, but at least I tried. It doesn't look that different, but you can still see the difference. And if you don't count the roof, I think the build looks very similar to the picture. Another reason why I chose the reference pic was the windows it had. I knew we had similar ones in The Sims, and I'm so happy with this Moschino or Moschino. I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyways. The only issue I had was when I realized we didn't get any closed ones. The small version of the window only has the swatch with the opened window, which is very weird and such a shame, because those windows are just purely amazing. Sometimes The Sims just makes decisions that I do not get. I also had an issue with the window cover or the awning or whatever that's called, that's on top of the window in the back and on top of the door in the front. The window was a lot wider than the door and the sides were clipping into the awning, so I ended up switching it to the wider one, even though they were supposed to be the same size. But I thought the clipping was worse than the mix-matched sizes, so I went with that. I also loved to make this build because I got to cover it with plants inside out, so thank you Janine for that. I love plants, as you may all know by now. So whenever I get to go wild with the greenery, I am the happiest. The inside was very simple. I thought making some changes and switching some of the furniture to include some bare necessities so your Sims could live in here, but then the whole point, if I even got it, of this cabin is to be a secret get-together hideaway, so I ended up just following the picture reference and including a few things the Sims could use. So the inside just consisted out of benches and a table and a few cabinets. I did place a few little decorative items such as the candle holder and the broom and a chalkboard at the end, just because it was looking so empty, and also those were some things that people could have brought with them, so I think it's alright. conservatory is just that, a room with huge windows and filled with plants. As I was filling it with some greenery, I also placed some debug bushes outside. There's not much logic in the order I build, as I've said before. So don't mind me jumping between outside and inside and all over the place. After I was done filling the entire conservatory with all the plants I could find, I placed some bikes there for the peeps and a little cooler. I also created a small backyard bonfire area so your Sims can sit there at night enjoying some spooky stories and s'mores and whatnot. Not that it's a thing you can actually do in The Sims, but anyways, I think it suited the whole area and the whole vibe. And nothing's complete without some terrain paint to make the surroundings look natural, and also I included a bush outside where your Sims can go do their business, because once you're here you wouldn't want to return home just to use the bathroom, would you? So that's another little change I made. And as always, I forgot to include a mailbox, so I'm sorry there's a mailbox inside the build. But this is the finished build. I hope you enjoyed this. I really loved doing this. It's just such an aesthetic and this is straight up my alley. I love these kinds of builds where there's so many plants and so much nature and everything. I don't know, I just love this whole idea, and all the credit goes to Janine. So Janine, thank you for making this awesome art, and if you guys are interested in art, please go follow her. She is amazing. And yeah, this is the finished build and I hope you love it as much as I do. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, and also if you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day or night and week or weekend whenever you're watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye!